cultural, and the medical. And I'm going to try to make these connections in ways by which I think, at least in my own research, they don't usually go together. And for me, the term or the category that's going to link the three territories will be that of time. And I'm going to be arguing a psychoanalytic or a cultural analysis of medicine, but also to analogies and shared formal logics amongst the most disparate aspects of our lived experience. Indeed, the elaboration of these analogies, the elaboration of the very problem of analogy itself, is central to my argument. For there is an overarching logic of time that not only the logic of a given historical structure, but also the inevitable and always possible unstructurings of the structure. So now, finally, I can end by returning to the original question. What comes after globalization? My answer is clear. I don't know. But what I know is it's not going to look or feel like anything that I know. In other words, I refuse to get trapped in the present categories to talk about that future. And yet I do believe that somehow artists, humanists, social scientists, hard scientists can coordinate their projects to speculate on what that future might be. To speculate on that future that is somewhat not colonized by the categories of the present. And let me just end then with this famous joke about time that maybe some of you know, and I'm sorry that I have to invoke. It's been mentioned once by Slavoj Žižek in a different context, but the joke goes something like this. There's a Soviet law country during the Cold War, and there are two security guards, and they're patrolling the city streets. And they have strict orders to shoot and kill anyone on the street past 10 p.m. And it's 9:30 p.m. And so people are moving around. I mean, the people in the city, they know this, so they're careful, they're worried, but they've integrated it into their everyday life. 9:30, people are moving. 9:45, and now people are starting to move a little faster. 9:50, 10 minutes to 10 o'clock, and one of the security guards sees someone walking, really running, takes out his gun and shoots him dead. And the other security guard says, "Why did you shoot? He still had 10 minutes to get home." And the security guard who shot the man dead said, "Oh, don't worry, I know where he lives." Like, I know he lives further than 10 minutes away, he'll never get home, I can just, I'm going to have to shoot him anyway, so I might as well shoot him now. And in many ways, that logic makes perfect sense when you work within the logic of the chronic. Because the logic of the chronic believes that what exists now will exist in the future, by a similar logic. So I know where he lives, I know he can't get home, I know that I know that 10 o'clock is going to be like 9:50, so I can shoot him now. But of course, we know that many things can happen. Maybe the government can change in those 10 minutes, a coup d'etat. Maybe one of the security guards can lose his job. Maybe the man had bought a new apartment in the time he was signing the paper. There's a contingency that even though that somehow a sense of unpredictability, of contingency, of really allowing the space for something revolutionary to occur, which again isn't only about revolutionary political movements, it's a consciousness, it's a sensibility, and it's a relation to time, that can produce more possibility for a progressive future than the elimination of that future